Hello.
Hi.
And welcome to Cliff Alerts. Today we're going to be talking about OWN Network's reality-based TV series, Love and Marriage DC Style, Season 1, Episode number 4.
And it's all about people knowing your sexual business. Boundaries are being crossed, sexual positions are being revealed,
And discussed.
And somebody recommended a sex therapist.
All up in there.
But before we get into it, please like, share, subscribe. Click that like button because that helps with the algorithm. And also send us your comments.
Absolutely. Keep it coming, y'all.
We're going to start it off with the continuation of the get together with Winter, Tasha, Ashley, and Irina. Ashley sort of retreating back from her stance and letting her know that, okay, we're going to squash this. Perhaps I don't know you that well, and we're going to get to know each other.
But she was unapologetic about some parts of that, so she didn't retreat totally.
She shouldn't apologize for her opinion. Sean trying to get Ashley and the kids on Silver's calendar, which I think is really sad. That she has to meet with the manager to find out where she can strategically place herself to get some me time with her husband.
And family members.
And family members.
I assume so. Yeah, that's kind of on quick though, isn't it? And the reason being is because he's got to carve out time and make his family a priority, not just work.
Well, so far he hasn't. That's the point. That's why she's in the office. I know that he's out there trying to
get to hustle. He's grinding. He's grinding. Yeah, he's grinding. Right.
But they got kids, and pretty soon the time to spend with them gonna be gone. Another thing they were discussing is evidently Silver had some accidents where he was so tired he fell asleep on the road. And my question was, why don't these people hire a driver? What's the big deal?
If they're not going to get the family a hotel, hire a driver.
Right.
So he's not running that road, because the road is unforgettable.
And if you're coming back home at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning after you're set, that can become a little problematic.
I definitely agree with that. There's too many solutions that could be in place or installed to actually not only quick at risk, for something happening to him out there on the road, but also anybody else for that matter.
Get a driver, get a car service to pick him up.
Exactly.
I mean, it's too easy to resolve that situation.
Right.
So now we get to Jason, Irina. And Jason, I think, is the star of this episode.
Okay.
I found him to be engaging. He's a young man. He's 21 years old, and he's in his mother's house, and he wants to get out.
Right, and his visual impairment is not going to stop him.
Right, that shouldn't stop him.
And that's the way it should be. I agree wholeheartedly, but it's not. It doesn't seem like that's the issue. It seems like his mother and his family's perspective about his impairment is the issue.
I am stunned that a woman who has a child who
visually impaired,
is so ignorant about what people can do now. They have technology for
visually impaired.
Visually impaired to use.
It seems like Iranians are woefully unaware of what's available to their son to be able to live independently. As I was listening to her talk about what he can do, I was thinking to myself, he can, even though you may not realize that he can do it. He just needs the opportunity and the right circumstances to prove it.
Absolutely.
And there's, at least based on what I've seen, there's no reason at all why he can't do it.
And I found it troubling that the DOORS program, which has been around for a minute, Irina is now trying to get her son into this program, and he's 21 years old.
There's no doubt in my mind that brother that Jason can do it. He may need some assistance. There may be some things that have to be set up in place for him.
Absolutely.
But he can be as independent as he wants to assist Jason in whatever thing that he needs to be able to not only live independently but thrive at that type of life. Seems to be the case.
I think they're just suffocating him at this point.
And Roger maybe alluded to this in her confessional, that they haven't really seen him as for who he is. They've seen him as the child that he was. Not the man that he is now, the adult that he is now, who's capable of doing things on his own, wants the chance to prove it. And from my vantage point, once he's given the chance and set up in the situation where he can do that, he's going to thrive.
Right, she's talking about when he
was, not what he is.
When he was a child and he liked music.
What he was.
He doesn't want to do the DJing stuff.
That was the part where Jamie was trying to get him to do something.
When they were having the dinner.
Right.
Jamie can't make plans for a grown man and not listen to what he wants to do.
And that includes...
Whitney, at 30 years old,
right.
she said that she was unable to lock down and key into the thing that she wanted to do because she was busy trying to please both Irena and Jason.
And you know what?
A parent could stifle their child, stifle their creativity, stifle their future because they're afraid of something happening which will never happen in the first place.
Yeah, that was a serious revelation point right there.
Absolutely.
And I hope that not only Irania, but Jamie as well kind of heard what she said. Go off on a tangent for a quick second, because when he said that about his son, I remember my father and how he wanted me to pursue basketball because he thought that was my best sport. But it ended up being that tennis was the thing that I was really interested in and passionate about, and I actually did very well and much better than he ever expected and or anticipated. I guess maybe surprised him to an extent, because he had a vision about his ideas about what I should pursue based on for the game that he introduced me to.
Well, sometimes parents bring forward the stuff that they learn. For parents, you gotta hold tight, gently with your palm wide open. Gotta be able to release them.
Yeah, and let them find their own way.
Right, God is gotta be with them throughout their journey. Right. The meeting with Winter and Irena. Irena said at the last dinner that they're gonna try to get to know Winter better. They don't want to hear about Kevin or her ill-fated decision to marry him sight unseen without seeing what his
and the current circumstances surrounding their, I guess, pending divorce.
And divorce is a hard situation to be in. It's not easy.
Right.
So you know, they need to soften their approach. So one of it is to get to know her and support her in this time. The first thing out of Irena's mouth is a question about Ashley.
I thought we was here to talk about something else.
So once Winter recovers from that situation, Irena starts talking about, because she told the table that both she and Jamie had some infidelity issues.
Right.
So with Winter, she gets in more detail about what she was doing. And she said it was a more social media kind of thing, an emotional attachment. She would slide into people's DMs and send them morning greetings.
That was a response to what she thought her husband was doing.
Right. Suspected that he was probably cheating on her.
Right.
And
she didn't have any proof. But
let me piggyback for a minute. Both Irena and Ashley had an approach regarding infidelity of their husbands. If they don't see it, if they don't hear it, if no one speaks it, then they're A-okay. And I got a problem with
like the stork, you're putting your head in the sand about certain things.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing, though, and I understand what they said, and here's how I took it. Okay, I took it as they're not looking for any issues, but if something presents itself in the way of information and or something that comes up that they actually witness or what have you, then they're going to deal with it accordingly. I didn't necessarily see it as them putting their heads in the sand. I just kind of took it as them not looking for trouble.
They're in a setting where they're going to hear some whispers about what their men are doing.
Right.
And it could be jealousy, someone putting that word on the streets about their man, which could not necessarily be true.
Right.
But this whole concept of not seeing anything, not hearing anything, and what have you, I don't think that is correct, because you could be in a relationship with a man who understands your philosophy and thinks that you are co-signing what he's doing. So when he's out there, he knows that you're not going to be doing anything because you don't want to have a come to Jesus moment with yourself.
Right.
I know for me personally, that's not going to work.
Right.
I am going to be diligent with what I have going on. That's why we put tools in place with our counselor and what have you, so we check in with each other.
Right.
And I have an awareness that stuff can happen. You could change your mind about me, and I could change your mind about you.
Right.
But I certainly am not gonna shut my eyes, close my ear, and close my mouth if I'm seeing something funky going on.
Right, and I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that that's what they were saying. But I think you paraphrased what they were saying. But it's just not how I took it. That's all. No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that I just processed it differently. And I agree with part of what you said. I do.
They got daughters.
Yes.
They both have daughters.
Right.
And they can't tell me they want their daughter to experience a life of living with suspicion about who they're with.
And sticking your head in the sand
about who you're dealing
with. And leaving
with.
your ass exposed. I get
you
that.
Step back, you check out what is happening.
Right. Right.
And
then you respond.
You respond in time. Once you come to an honest place and you like yourself, you're gonna want to experience an honest and upright life.
I agree. I definitely agree.
So that's my point. But let me go back to this date with Winter and Irina. She talks about, Winter says that she's celibate. And she thinks that she brought up
her 40-year-old self.
She brought up a situation that she thought sex will put you in jail if it's good.
I was like, what the hell is she talking about? She was trying to stab her brother. She trying to stab her brother or something.
Is this like
a kind of sexual kind of?
Is this like a Gone Girl?
Or something?
You know that movie a couple of years ago, the
Gone Girl? Yeah.
She was having relations with the dude and stabbing him at the same time.
What the hell is going on here?
So Irina, who talks a little bit too much about her personal life, she tells Winter that she and Jamie, because of the infidelity, her sexual drive is low while her libido is low, and while Jamie's is high. Mm-hmm. She wish she can get it up there. However, Jamie doesn't. They don't have foreplay, and Jamie just wants her to turn over and get at it. No kiss, no love, no I love you.
Wait, whoa.
No, thank you. No, I love you. No, nothing. He just want to do the do.
What the hell is Irina talking to her acquaintance or whatever she is, Winter, about stuff that's going on between them and their marriage? Why is she doing that?
I have no idea, but I'm not sure why she's talking to Winter about that or having the cameras capture what she's saying. But she recommends that they get a sex therapist. Sex therapists do a whole lot. They give you directions and instructions.
Yeah, so have one leg over there in that corner, one leg over there in that corner. You know, what kind of freaky dinky?
They give you instructions.
Right.
New positions you could get into.
And new experiences.
And new experiences you have.
Okay, all right.
It's an adventure.
Yeah.
You know, to add the secret sauce. So we then see Irina, Jamie, Ashley, and Silver at a couple's date.
Yeah.
They're talking, and then Irina, of course, brings that subject up.
Lord have mercy.
So Irina is bringing this up, and her husband is giving her a hard stare.
He giving her the serious eyeball.
You know,
like this.
She's just ignoring that.
Yeah.
And she's just saying, "Hey, this is what's going on."
And you know,
Jamie doesn't like foreplay, and Jamie is sitting right there, and he's.
You know what this situation will require? This situation will require a thought bubble to be able to see what he was thinking at the time, because I'm sure he was hot.
And I thought Irina was crossing that boundary between a couple. I mean, she could talk about her sexual stuff, but what about him?
Right, and
it's a conversation to have in counseling.
Exactly, not on a couple's double date. I'm sure he's feeling a certain type of way, because he was blindsided by it. Do you think he was? I felt like he was embarrassed. Do you think he felt like he was embarrassed?
I thought he was a little bit embarrassed that she was
caught off guard.
Because in his confessional he says she talks too much about their business.
Exactly.
Couples have things between them that they don't want to share that much.
So all
that could be their sexual relation.
So all the tapes.
And she was just
Didn't have permission to sell all the tapes
She was
to anybody who was listening, y'all.
She had a copyright situation.
Oh my gosh! I'm like, damn.
So, he said when he wants to travel south, that she shut him down, and then in the confessional, he was giving her another hot stare because she said that he doesn't use his mouth properly.
He had a measured kind of response to that because
yeah, but he offered information too.
Yeah, on that particular part of it, he did. He spoke right up.
He spoke right up.
He spoke right up. He chirped up real good. But at the same time, I still think that it just put him in an awkward position. He looked salty. He looked all kinds of salty about that.
In-depth conversation that you can have with someone who can counsel you. You've been together a long time, and what to do and how to be open, how to the foreplay situation, not taking each other for granted,
right.
Going out on dates, checking in during the day, sending flowers, gifts, chocolate, running a bath, rubbing your feet, giving a massage, singing, playing with each other, doing all these different things. Are you gonna open to the intensely personal part of your life to that person?
Not the kid. And I'm just saying, it's different for different folks, strokes for different folks.
So anyway, we come to Miss Monique and Chris. Now, during the episode, they showed them in Africa and Tanzania. Right. Whenever I see Monique, I see her nagging and complaining. That's what I see from her. Or
criticizing Chris about
something.
Yeah, that she feels like he could be doing better, or in part responsible for, I guess, their funked that they're in.
Basically,
currently.
She's telling him he's responsible for her happiness. So they're unpacking, and she's from the trip in Africa, and she's talking about it was so great, yada yada yada, and she asked him whether he had a light bulb experience,
come to Jesus moment,
as it regards their marriage.
Right.
Now, last week we thought that going to Africa with the kids could not be something that's romantic, simply because you're in a foreign country, you got 3 kids to take care of, and she indicated that it was a packed schedule.
Right, so it's a family trip, not a couples couples oriented trip.
Again, we didn't go to somewhere where both of them could relax and talk and what have you.
Right.
And I just think for Monique, who has been married 10 years, who doesn't understand her man, because all he said when she asked him the question whether he had a light bulb moment, he said no. And I know when we were married, I wanted you to talk to me like my girlfriend.
Right.
But that's not you.
Of course, because I'm not your girlfriend.
You're not my girlfriend.
Right.
I quickly realized that. She doesn't realize that when he said no, he made me know.
Or that it's okay that he answered that way because he was honest and truthful about where he was?
He did not have that moment because his schedule was jam-packed.
Hello.
And he had to take children with you and all that other stuff.
No,
that wasn't good for her. Break down what Miss Monique told her husband.
Yeah, it's about to get crazy, y'all.
She said, if it is not what she's expecting, then his intentions mean nothing.
Stop right there. What the hell does that mean? I ain't passing it back.
Monique.
What the hell is she smoking?
What is she smoking? She is saying that if it's not what she is expecting, then it means nothing.
Do you know how?
So where does she leave room for Chris?
Well, here's the thing: there is no room. If you just unpack what she said, not necessarily what she may have meant by what she said, or the effectiveness of whatever point she was trying to convey to us. Why does she feel like she needs to be married to somebody that she doesn't pay attention to their expectations, is only concerned with her own? And if somebody else doesn't meet them, then it doesn't matter.
You got to deal with the person where
they are, not
where you expect them to be. You got to manage your expectations.
Exactly.
And if the man said no, that's where he is.
Right. You don't have to like it.
Keep it moving.
You don't have to agree with it, but you have to respect the fact that he told you where he was.
Told you where he was. Okay. And after the fact, in his confessional, he said, oh, he wasn't really thinking about it. He just came back from a long trip.
Right.
He's tired, not trying to shut her down. He was trying to give her what she wanted.
Right, in terms of an answer.
And I think Monique's whole vibe is all about herself. It seems to me as if Chris's opinion, how he moves, how he operates as a man, as a father, and as a husband, don't mean sure.
Well, it might not be, but I tell you what, she's gonna find out quick, fast, and in a hurry at some point in time that if she continues to go on down that road, there's not gonna be a happy ending to this. You've got to value your significant other's perspectives, their thoughts, their opinions, and all that. You know, and I'm not saying you have to agree with them. You have to value those and respect those, even if they don't line up with yours.
But she told him that they sent the contract for the radio gig.
Right.
His reaction was supportive.
Exactly.
Look at Monique's in their confessional when she talked about when they were both together. He said that he felt like he left part of himself in Africa.
Right.
She had a problem with that.
Right, because
she sent a post where she said the same words, and he now was saying it, which stopped her from taking it herself.
Right, so she's looking for credit, I guess. She wants the center of attention to be on her.
She wants the attention on her.
Right.
I mean,
over petty stuff like that.
They're filming, they're tired, jet lagged,
right?
And she still wants him to go into in-depth conversation about whether he had a aha moment, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
She has built walls up against him during their marriage.
Yeah, because of the problems
that
they're
been
currently experiencing, right?
And he is responsible for bringing those walls
down.
Down.
Oh, so does that mean that any walls that he's acknowledged that he's built in this period of time, in this window of time where they seem to be having trouble, does that mean that she then becomes responsible for kicking down his?
You know what I've learned?
Some craziness,
in
some
marriage,
foolishness.
You got to do your work yourself. Nobody's coming to help you, including your husband. Individually, you got to be whole. You got to be at 100%. Because the thing is, if your expectation is that the man is going to make you happy, no. It's an inside job.
Right.
And you just add to.
And he can be supportive of her, but she got to do the work herself.
And sometimes you're down, sometimes he's up, and there's a balancing act. But happiness got to come from inside of you. The show needs not to concentrate on Chris and Monique, because I don't see them bringing anything to the table but a nagging woman. And at one point he said when he was walking away that he's tired of all this. And when a man says he's tired, you got a problem.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
You have got a problem.
Right, and it better be dealt with.
Let me give you my 2 cents.
All right, come on with it.
He may not have said it correctly 2 episodes ago.
Right.
But the man wants her to shut her mouth. Timing is everything.
What did he say? Hush.
He said hush, and she got.
Yeah, she got offended. Yeah,
perhaps he says, if you will close your mouth
and open your ears
and give me a moment to speak. Take a moment, listen to what I am saying.
Right. Don't quit.
Sit with it, and then come back.
It might work out. Things might work out.
I have had to check myself. How many times? 1,000,001 times.
Got a witness, y'all.
That he has to contribute to resolution of the problem we are having. And it can't come to a resolution if I am talking all the the time and don't get his input.
Right, and
that ain't gonna work.
And I get the feeling that maybe she hadn't come to that point yet. Maybe.
Perhaps that's why he had to tell her hush.
Right. Well, I don't necessarily agree with how in that scenario.
No, I don't agree with that, because we would have problems if we were in a group and he told me hush. I get that.
Right.
But she needs to
speak less and listen more.
Yeah. My mother used to tell me do this.
Get the money's worth, y'all.
And that's all I've got to say about that.
Yeah, don't play games. Do it.
We want to thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. We thank you for sitting with us. Your go-to could be bye-bye.